Hey guys, it's Adrian over at BHA here, bringing you a new video. So, the great folks over at Eufy has sent me over another awesome camera to show you guys. This is the Eufy Starlight 4G 2K solar-powered, battery-powered camera that we're going to take a look at. This thing is awesome. Not only is it battery-powered, and with the solar panel allows it to be hooked up pretty much anywhere as long as you got sunlight, but it's also a 4G camera, so no Wi-Fi, no network cable. You're going to use a SIM card, put that on your cellular data network, and be able to access it from anywhere. Now there's tons of other capabilities that we're going to get into in the video. Here we go. So if you're interested in picking this up, it's a little pricey if you go to Eufy's website. I think you can get it for about 290 bucks. Now that is the solar panel and the camera in a single bundle. But if you go over to their Amazon storefront, you can get it for roughly 220 bucks, which is a pretty good discount compared to the Eufy store. And I'll have all the links in the description below so you can check it out for yourself. Without further ado, let's dive right in. Okay, so here we are with the Starlight camera and the solar panel combo pack. So you get one of each. As always with Eufy products, they list a ton of information on the outside of the box. But we got all the specs and everything that the product can do, as well as all the contents of everything that comes in the box. So it's kind of all listed there on the outside of the box. Slide this cover off here. We're going to get this thing opened up. All right, so here we are. First things first, we have the mounting brackets. You got one for the solar panel, one for the camera. We also have a USB charge cable. This is kind of to initially charge the battery of the camera. Or if you weren't going to use that solar panel, you could use this to charge the battery, as you use it. With standard use, I think this battery is supposed to last up to 3 months, so it's got a pretty good life on the battery itself. Next up, we have the camera here. It's a pretty small form factor camera, but it does have a little weight to it. It's surprisingly heavy for how small it is. If you look on the back side of the camera, there's kind of a little flap here. This is where you plug in the charger or the solar panel for the camera, as well as just below that is the SIM card slot. Now remember, this is a 4G camera, not Wi-Fi or network cabled camera. Next up, we got the instructions. So it's got your information on setting up the solar panel, as well as getting the camera added to the Eufy app. You also have a 100 meg SIM card. And this is coming from our friends over at EAT Club. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen the video I did a while back on EAT Club SIM cards. I'll have a link to that in the top corner there, so you can check that one out for yourself. But they do a lot with SIM cards, especially for cameras like these trail cameras, all kinds of 4G cameras. They do a lot with those. And the cool thing about this SIM card is it comes with 100 meg initially, but you can go on to EAT Club's website and you can actually refill the SIM card with prepaid data if you want to use it going forward. All right, so here is the solar panel. This is the last thing in the box. And probably my favorite thing about this whole camera solar panel setup is the back side of this solar panel actually has cable management built into it. Basically, you'll be able to wrap up any extra wire that you have that you're not using from the solar panel in order to kind of keep everything all bundled together. one of my biggest pet peeves with these battery powered solar panel camera setups is that they give you so much cable with the solar panel so that you can basically install it wherever you want and then run the line back to the camera, that I always have so much extra wire left over, and I have to try to figure out a way to bundle it together and kind of hide it. And this solar panel, of course, gives you that capability. That's really cool. I really like that. But that's everything you get in the box. Let's go ahead and take a look at the specs here. So there's actually like 4 different bundles. I say bundles. One of them is just the camera itself. Without a solar panel, you can get just the camera, or you can get the camera and solar panel, a 2-pack or a 4-pack. And so you would get, 2 solar panels and 2 cameras, or 4 solar panels and 4 cameras. And as I've already stated, this is a 2K camera. It does have human face and motion detection capabilities. And remember, this is 4G, so it will not support Wi-Fi or network cable. It's only going to be 4G LTE camera. It does offer color night vision, which makes this camera pretty cool. A lot of the newer cameras that are coming out do support color night vision. I really like that feature. Last but not least, there is no SD card slot in this camera. It does have 8 gig of local storage built in. So in some respects, it's kind of cool because you do automatically get some local storage, but I hate the fact that you don't have the option to put in, like, say, a 128 gig card. 8 gigs of storage is just not a whole lot. So I really do wish they had an SD card slot so you could put in your own local storage. But other than that, that's everything that comes in the box. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and we'll see if we can't get this thing installed. Okay, so for installing the camera, we have to make sure that it's waterproof. And so if you're using this solar panel with this camera, they give you a little waterproof seal and a connector to be able to hook up the solar panel and camera together. So we just kind of fold this flap down and apply this little insert here. It basically just leaves an opening for that solar panel connector. All right, so to kind of give you an idea where I'm installing this camera, it's going to be on the back side of my shed. It's kind of a blind spot from the house, and so we're going to be replacing another 4G camera that I had installed here before. This was the Reolink Go, and I'll put a link to that video up in the top corner. So if you're interested in taking a look at that, it will be available to you as well. But it should be pretty easy to install this camera and solar panel. We're just going to drop and replace. We'll pull the old one out, we'll put the new one in. And as you can see, here is the camera and solar panel already installed. And you can see that extra long cable wrapped around that cable management on the back of the solar panel, which I really like. So I think that's a pretty nice little setup there. It kind of keeps everything out of the way. At this point, we are ready to get it added into the Eufy security app on my phone. And here we are in the app. We're going to hit that plus in the top corner. We're going to scroll down to find that 4G Starlight camera, and we'll click on that. We're going to hit next on where I'm installing it. And at this point, it tells me to insert the SIM card, which we've already done. So we're good there. So we can hit next. And then it's ready for us to scan the QR code on the bottom of the camera. So we can do that here. And at this point, we are ready to configure the SIM card. And this being that EAT Club SIM card that was sent with the camera itself, the instructions say to just enter that APN information manually. We'll click on that here and add in all of that information. And then we are ready to double click the sync button on the top of the camera. This kind of puts it in pairing mode and allows it to finish that connection. And I do hear a loud beep after 6 seconds, so we know to hit next here. Now we're ready to hold this QR code up in front of the camera, so it will scan it. And this should pretty much finish up the connection. And there we go, the camera has been added successfully. We can give it a name here. I'm going to go ahead and call it Shed, since that's kind of where it's located there on the back side of my shed. We want this to be the optimal battery life. So I think that's the best option there. That is the default. Under power source, I want to select solar panel, so it knows that it will be regularly charged via the solar panel. And I think we're done. It looks like it's kind of going through the steps of installing it, which obviously we've already done at this point, so we can kind of skip through these. Now we can kind of click on this and see the camera. Let's adjust that angle a little bit, get the view to where we want it to be. But at this point, I think we are ready to move on to the next step and kind of go over the various config options in the app. All right, so looking at the app and what all we can do with this camera, let's click on it here. You have all your standard options that you can kind of see down here at the bottom. You can take a snapshot. Looks like a recording if you see something you want to record. You also have the ability to talk to someone on the camera, which we didn't really mention when we went over the specs, but this camera also supports two-way audio. So that's pretty awesome. So you can change the nighttime mode if you want as well. Let's turn on the spotlight or sound an alarm if you want. Well, let's go ahead and get into the settings here. Right here in the middle, it talks about Starlight night vision. And as you can see, by default, it's set to black and white night vision, but we want to change that to use that color night vision. It tells you that the color night vision will be more of a drain on the battery, but I think we should be good since we are keeping this thing charged by the solar panel. Let's see, motion detection. This is enabled by default, which is good. I like having the human only under the detection type. You can see down at the bottom there that even at night, non-human activity will be recorded, even if you have human only set. So human only during the day, all motion at night. I think that will work out well. I like to have the sensitivity in the middle, which it currently is, so we can leave that. All right, anti-theft detection. Basically, if this camera is moved to a different location, it will sound an alarm. So we have ours mounted on the side of the building, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Not really worried about anybody stealing it. All right, let's see, power manager settings. So this is kind of where you can go in and change the power options if you wanted to. We set it with the optimal battery when we first install it. I think that's a good setting. I'm going to kind of leave that. All right, so video settings. This is where we can adjust the defaults here if we wanted to. You can remove that Eufy watermark. You also have the ability to change the streaming quality. Right now, I think it's all set at auto, and I kind of prefer to leave it there. It works really well. Under audio settings, this is where you can make those adjustments to like the speaker or enable the microphone, which is used for that two-way audio that we talked about earlier. I'm happy with the default settings here as well, so I don't see any reason to change these. Under notification, this is where you can change the types of alerts you will receive. Um, Basically, how much information you're going to get and how detailed those alerts are going to be and how often you're going to get them. I think that the default settings work well here as well, so I don't see any reason to change them. But you certainly can modify those if you needed to. But that pretty much covers the main settings available to you within the Eufy app. Let's go ahead and move on to the last step, and we'll kind of take a look at the video quality both day and night, and we're also going to kind of give you my final thoughts. All right, let's start by taking a look at the video feed from both the daytime and nighttime of this Starlight camera. Now you can see the video quality is pretty good. 2K video, 130-degree viewing angle. I mean, not bad at all. The color night vision provides quite a bit of light, and you're able to see everything very well. And as you can see, if you use that color night vision with the light on for too long, it pops up with that alert just letting you know that you are going to drain that battery. Overall, I was very pleased with the quality of the video for both. Now to kind of go over my final thoughts. I've broken up everything into pros and cons to kind of give you a full idea of what I like and dislike about the camera. So let's start with the positive. First things first, 4G LTE capability. This is a great feature giving you the flexibility to install this camera anywhere without having the need for Wi-Fi or network. As long as there's cellular coverage, you are good to go. Next up, two-way audio. This has become pretty common on your standard network Wi-Fi security cameras, but having this feature on the 4G LTE camera is a huge plus. I was definitely pleased to see this capability. Color night vision. This also has become the standard with security cameras lately, but you don't see it very often on these battery-powered cameras just because of the huge battery drain having to power the light. Along with the Next Pro solar panel makes this much easier. Having the ability to power this from the sun, you really do have the flexibility to put this thing anywhere and not worry about it. Lastly, my favorite feature was the cable management built into the back of the solar panel. This needs to be a standard. So much easier to keep the cable tied up cleanly with that on the back of the solar panel. Now on to the cons. I really didn't have that many. First was the price. Now this was a little on the high end, but being a 4G LTE camera, these tend to run a little higher than your standard Wi-Fi network security cameras. And being solar powered on top of it just adds to the functionality, so overall, I'm okay with the price. Next up, the no SD card slot. I was torn on this one as well. Though I love the fact that they provide local storage, not forcing you to pay for cloud storage, I hate that you are limited to 8 gigs with no way to change it. And then lastly, obviously, the monthly charge that you'll incur from the data plan. Now, again, this is not really a con either, because if you're looking for a camera that will run on the cellular network because you don't have Wi-Fi or network, you're going to pay for a monthly plan or a prepaid data plan of some sort. You're going to be stuck with a regular charge for a data plan. All that being said, I was very pleased with the Eufy Starlight camera. I think it will work out very well. I'll have the link in the description below for Eufy's website. If you aren't interested in this camera, head over there and see what all they have to offer. I guarantee you can find something that you'll be interested in. As always, I want to thank everybody for donating to my Buy Me a Coffee link. Every little bit helps. If you haven't had a chance, head over to my spring merchandise page and check out all of the Burns home automation merchandise. And if you're looking for the latest smart home gear, you're going to want to check out SMONet. I'll have a link in the description below for their website as well. You're going to want to go over there and see what deals they currently have ready. If you're interested in buying and selling stock or maybe cryptocurrency, check out Robinhood. I'll have a link in the description below for that as well. And if you sign up with that link, you and I both will get a free share of stock. It's a win-win for both of us. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. As always, if there are any videos out there that you would like to see that I don't already have out there, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll see if I can't get something put together for you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys around.